Hello and welcome back. Well, it's not a sales video because it's Sunday, so it's a sourcing video, but it's not a hot off the presses. This is more over a little more detail on why I pick the specific media items that I do. So to start, yesterday I said I'd probably see somewhere local and I would just get some discs resurfaced. By the time I got the video done, and while the video is uploading to YouTube before it's published, that could take a little time, 15, 20, 30 minutes. That's when I package the items. So I'm doing two things at once, right? Big braining. Sometimes, for the most part, even when I am done packaging and it could be 15, 20 items, even the video is still processing, waiting for it to upload. But by the time everything got done, and I wait for it to actually post to make sure that there aren't any errors or anything like that. It was, I want to say like a little bit after 11:20. Like, you know what? I could still go out maybe a little farther. And if I time it right. So yesterday I did the Avon route, and you're going to see, actually, I'll just clip that right here. So here I am up in, I want to say this is Sheffield Lake. I don't think I've ever been in this Goodwill here. This is the parking lot. That's the Goodwill. I've never been in that one that I can remember. If I have been, it was 10 plus years ago. But the Avon one and the rest of the route is south of here. That Goodwill, I got two things, and I don't remember the DVD I got. I remember the cassette I got. And then in my wandering around as I'm headed to, so I went to that one, and I went to the other Goodwill, and then from where I got this a Buffy thing, I'll show you. Yeah, a couple others. And then I went to the Salvation Army. They didn't have any stickers with the number 5. All their stuff is labeled 5 for the month it goes out. In media, they didn't have any stickers with 5. And left the Salvation Army. So that earned me back like 30, 40 minutes. And then I went to, then I was en route going to the next Goodwill. And I ended up bouncing in between 4 yard sales and I found 4 books at one, which I paid $0.25 a book. I didn't look them up, didn't do anything, brought them back home, all junk. So those get tossed. That was $1. And then the one store, or the one garage sale where I found something, it was a magic something or coin something DVD and like a 15-ish something dollar Taylor Swift CD, and those are $1 each. And I went from there to that Goodwill, and then another Goodwill, then went to the VOA in Ridgeville, maybe. Yeah, right beside that is a little bin store where I get the 3 of the Prime energy drink, the 3 flats of it. So it's 3 flats for $27. Each flat has 32 cans. They're still in the back of the car, but 27. I mean, it's like 30 cents a can. Then went to the Savers, came back home, and I was back at like 8:30. So those yard sales kind of added a little time to it. However, this is what I got, and I'm going to explain a little on what my eyes are doing, why I picked these. Granted, I can't show you what I didn't get, but the bigger part is on if these are the things that I'm getting and why I'm picking them off the shelf to scan. That'll help explain a little to whomever is listening, you, and if you could learn anything from that and why I do that. So this is what's going to be shown is in no particular order on how I, or is in no particular order on where I got them. It's just how I managed to neatly stack it all right here. Goodwill. So the first one is this Fat City book by whatever the name is here. Only reason why I grabbed it is because those words, Fat City. No barcode. It's a book club edition book. I don't remember when it was printed. Right? So it's just an interesting words. It could be any novel. It could be anything. So I grab it, and being that I'm not looking up hundreds and hundreds of books, just one title with a couple weird words, Fat City. What is that? What does that mean? Look it up, and it's a hardcover, so I go in on the app and I click format, and I click hardcover and not specified. Now, if you're going to do that on the PC, you need to click not specified first and then hardcover. Because if you click hardcover, the not specified will disappear. It won't be there. The not specified, that falls under the antique and collectible, which people will even put 10-year-old books in there, right? So if you click not specified and hardcover, that'll narrow it down. So I look, and it's either I did that afterward or just right off the rip, there are maybe 30 listings. Like, all right, well, that means that it's a book that's been around for a while. There's not a lot of listings. Well, let's narrow it down to not specified and hardcover, and the prices are feasible enough. All right, cool. Start looking, and the one that I have in my hand falls in line with the year of the ones that are in the listings. Not every listing in the title is going to show the year, but I hit sold, and this book is anywhere, it doesn't sell fast, but it's anywhere from 30 to 50 bucks. Probably right around that $30 range because it doesn't have the dust jacket, but for $1.50. I don't think they're $1.50 there. I think they're $1.99. This is The Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. This is a Christian library. It is leather bound, and this is a winner. So again, I'm going with visual texture, the visual feel, what my eyes are seeing the texture is. It's different. So I'm kind of surmising that it is leather or leather-like. C.S. Lewis, a lot of people listening probably know C.S. Lewis, probably even know Screwtape Letters. It's a style and design and everything that I go for that's different than of all the other incarnations of the Screwtape Letters. I'm like, all right, Christian library. So I type in Screwtape, Christian library. Because if you type in Screwtape Letters and Lewis, you're going to end up with tens of thousands of results. Publisher narrows it down, and since these are the ones that are responsible for this specific design and printing, the listings for this show, a lot of people have 1990 in the title. It very well may be. When I go to the list, I'll make sure that I'm more specific. That's why sometimes when I give a price in a sourcing video, and if one of you decide to look it up, like, oh, well, he said it's 60 bucks. But they only sell for 40. Because I'm trying to remember what it was when I looked it up and what it could be. And if I'm saying 60, and this is just completely arbitrary. If I'm saying 60, then that's more likely what a better price would be because I'm gauging it on the specific condition, on what it is then and there. And nothing is absolute until it sells anyhow. But I'm not one of those to where, it's $100. And then somebody looks it up and they sell on the average for 15. I'm not one of those sellers like that. I'm not going to give you bad information or information way off. Matter of fact, there's a lot of times when I will say something that will later be cut from a video because it doesn't align with truth or accurate. There's still a few things that are a couple degrees off that I say sometimes that are a little off, but it's not going to be substantial. So this is the reason why I brought up what I just did. This is anywhere from 40 to 100 bucks. The more common selling price is 50 to 60. This could still be listed maybe as like new. I really have to look. But even if it's listed as very good, it's still 40 to 70 bucks for a $2 book. Why I picked it is because it's a title, mainly the visual feel, visual texture, and it's a different rendition than I've ever seen. Just going to flush through some otherwise bread and butter stuff, like Hoodwinked right here. This might be 15, but I think all the CDs and DVDs were $1.29 at those stores. So let's say that's 15. This movie does sell. Looks like a Hindi. It's all regions. It's NTSC. It's black and white. But it's a whole different cover, whole different artwork. It is an import. The movie does sell anywhere from 15 to 30 bucks. So being that it has a little different cover, will it sell for 20? Yeah. This is one, this is called JC Wheeled Warriors. Don't know. It's a multi-disc bonus episode from Cops. Don't know. If I remember right, this came up scanning 40 bucks, 50 bucks. They sell for less than that. So this is one I would just buy because it does have a selling history of good enough. And this is a sealed Highlander. So this is another thing that I will look at. I know Highlander, for the most part, isn't going to garner much. Something along those lines that you just know that you've looked at enough of them to know that they're not going to garner much. But it's a little different than of what I've seen before. It's a widescreen, right? And it's sealed. I picked it primarily because I saw the seal on it, and it does have the original seal, right? So this is probably only like 15 bucks, maybe 20, in and around that range. I don't fret over those few or $5. So what I mean by that is, since I keep my stuff on a sale bracket and I send coupons or I send offers and I have coupons and I have best offer set to auto for a certain percent, low and high, but I'm buying, that's part of the business, it's part of the incorporation of business costs, is you're going to get a little less for things. I prefer to have that than something sell than not. But even at like 15 bucks, let's just see if it is 15, that's still, after everything, still making pretty much 5. I'm not going to be out any money. Now it's probably the same, probably just a $12, $15 DVD. Yeah, I don't know. I think one of them that I picked was like 30. That's one of these older ones. Now this is a very, very flimsy case. It may not even have an insert. I can't tell if it does. It's a sealed, flimsy case. I don't disclude these. I got to looked at it because it was sealed. Scanned it, and it came up at a feasible rate for me to buy. This is back in time. This was the DVD I got with the cassette I'm going to cover at the one up in Sheffield Lake. Nothing substantial. I think scanning, they come up sealed for like 30 bucks. Scanning for sold, one came up for like 7. For the $1.29, can I at least get 15 for it? Will at least sell for 15 bucks, even a little less? Yeah. Was it worthwhile for me to get this in the cassette? Because if it's only one item and if it's not like a $30, $40 item, I'm just putting it back and walking out and go to the next store. But when I have 2 items, that makes it a little more worth my while. And I hate going someplace and putting something back and not getting something because that's a little burn in time. But ultimately, throughout the day, what I accumulate, it really doesn't matter if I burnt time in a store to get anything because it's all a matter within the workday. And I've explained that a couple times in many, many, many videos ago. It's all in the workday. Regardless of what happens, it's all in the workday. If I'm going out sourcing from the first store to the last store, whatever I got, doesn't matter how many stores, whatever I got is my workday. If it's 400 listable, if it's 2,000 and anything between, that's my work. And then come home and videos and pictures and all that other stuff, that's also part of the work. But ultimately, it's, well, now since I've been going out more frequently, it's closer to 35 hours a week. But this, yeah, I'll probably get, I don't know, 12 to 20 bucks for it. This is listed high, but they sell for 20 in there. I'm trying to remember. Come on, butthead again. 20 something. So there's that. Another one of those Train, and I have another Train DVD. I list it yet? I don't think I have. But I have another Train DVD. And this one is also right around that same price range, around 25 bucks. Used, sealed, these ones here. And it's strange because I'm actually watching Modern Marvels, season 12, episode 14, something about trains and train yards and the industry. If I hit unpause on the keyboard, you could probably hear it playing in the background. So these types of train DVDs, there's a lot of chaff, a lot of common stuff out there. No barcode, hand type, whichever it was, it was like 25, 30 bucks. This is, again, probably about $25 DVD. It's a multi, no, it's a single. Is it a multi? It feels like multi. No, it's a single with a very, very thick paper booklet. Again, like 25 bucks, maybe, might even be 30. I'm going to, this is not an extensive or an exhaustive list, but I'm going to mention some kids stuff to definitely keep an eye out. Now, if you're doing what I do and you're just pulling a bunch of stuff and scanning, eventually you will pick up on some of these. But if you're just looking at DVDs without really putting a lot of thought and energy in it, then there are certain series to look for, such as The Wiggles, some Yo Gabba Gabba, some Clifford, some Blue's Clues. A lot of these are sums. You're just going to have to get used to. You have to become familiar more with the specific ones, but typically there's so few at a store that it's not going to take up that much more time to grab 5 or 6 kids' DVDs and scan them, if that's what you do. There are certain ones that you do want to pull regardless of apprehension, regardless of second thought. You're like, oh, I don't know. No, if you're second guessing it, pull it. Bear is one. Big comfy couch can garner really good money. Some of the earlier Sesame Street, and I've got a couple that are 30, 40 bucks, a couple that's 50. I think there's one that I have listed that's like $70. Some of the older Sesame Street ones. There's the Wiggles, a little bit of Yo Gabba Gabba, even some Blue's Clues and some Thomas and some Barney ones. Those last ones in VHS tend to do better. Things like Bear. This is maybe at best a $40 DVD. No insert. It's going to need resurfaced. It's like, might be 40 bucks. I'm trying to remember from yesterday, right? This is a interesting DVD set. Scan, one comes up. Hand type all this in, even in Terapeak, and nada. Nothing. So how is it Genesis and Phil Collins can have a 2-disc DVD set and nothing comes up typing in this word, and that word. Well, I believe it is an import. eBay, I don't remember what it was on eBay. The only other listing is on Amazon for new for like 40 bucks. So for $1.29, I'll buy this, I'll list it, see what happens. X library, no barcode. If it did, a lot of libraries like to cover it up. Hand type, this is like a $30 DVD, 25 to 35, I don't remember exactly. Atomic testing, I don't think there's any, there might be one or a couple listed, and I had to go into Terapeak to actually see if they do sell. They do sell right around that $20, $25 range. Ralphie May signed not only the disc, but that, maybe 20 bucks. This is one that I got at the yard sale, this coin thing right here. So this was $1. It's probably about a $20, $25 DVD. This is kind of the conundrum of them all. Magic box. Well, there's a whole list of things that this encompasses. So this is for Magic Box, Mini Magic Box, Magic Box Plus, or Mini Magic Box Plus, or Amazing Box, Mini Amazing Box, Amazing Box 2, and Mini Amazing Box 3. So it is a machine that I think makes cards, salutation cards, greeting cards. That's what I want to say it makes, because just typing this in eBay, that's what it shows up as, like a multicolored box. For this one is fairly older, 2006, so 20 years old. For the $1.29, and the absolutely no record of this upgrade itself. I would have to go into Google to look at a little more about it. The machines sell for 70 to a couple $100. An upgrade, 2-disc, whichever here, that can't be found. If I type this in, it's nowhere listed on eBay. It's nowhere in Terapeak, and I didn't do Google searching. That lets me know one of two things. There's a lot out there and nobody has them listed. Unlikely. Or it's a very, very limited run for a machine that probably doesn't last long. So for that person who still has it, still uses it, or wants to make a complete, which I don't know. Will I list it for 50 bucks? More likely. Closer to 100? Unlikely. But I have to do some more looking up to actually see what a good value would be for it. But for $1.21, can I list it for 50? For sure. So here's a cassette I got at that Sheffield Lake Goodwill. Badfinger, straight up Badfinger from the 70s and 80s. But 20, 25 bucks. Look this up because it's sealed. This is still around a $20 CD. This very, very specific one, Jazz Hour, is it? Yeah, Jazz Hour with Louis Armstrong, Wonderful World. Still not many have sold, but still 20 bucks should be able to. It is sealed. So I don't remember the other one. So I'm just going to give it sealed, not sealed. I don't remember most of these of what I get. It has to have a selling value of 15 bucks or more. So if I say pretty much 20 bucks, it's pretty much 20. If I say 25 to 30, it's pretty much within that range. Millionaire, this one is like 12, 14 bucks. King Spade is closer to 20. Static Lullaby, I don't remember. This might be even at that $15 range. Taylor Swift Fearless. This is one I got at a yard sale. Paid $1, like 15 bucks. Oak Ridge Boys Cracker Barrel Special. Actually has a proper barcode. A lot of times the Cracker Barrel stuff only has like a barcode with like 4, 5, 6 numbers on it. Some of them can be. I don't remember which one. I really don't remember which one it was, but it was 50, 60 bucks a couple years ago. But some of these Cracker Barrel exclusives, if you will, this is still maybe 20 bucks. And this Zinger. So this was at the Well, if I say Avon, it's going to be, if you're paying attention, it's going to be any of those stores. But this was at the one that was right before the Salvation Army. Right, so it is a complete set. All the discs are there. If you line these up correctly, it shows an image of all of them, I suppose. So I paid 10. The lowest recent sold for these is like 60 bucks. You go beyond those handful, those first 5, 6, or 7 of them. You go beyond that, and they're anywhere from 80 to over 100 bucks used. I don't know about new. I didn't scroll that far down. It's not new. I didn't narrow that search down for that. So when I'm looking at cassettes, so great segue, right? When I'm looking at cassettes, again, this font was used like water back in the 70s and 80s. So that was nothing particularly different than what I usually see. They probably had 200 cassettes easily. But there are a lot of this in this range, this 70s, 80s rock. I'm not going to go with, oh, look at this specific genre and look at that specific genres. It's just a matter of I picked those rock ones up. Yeah, I'm going to leave the Engelbert, Humperdinck. That's going to stay there. Even they had some Paul Revere and the Raiders. Cherokee Nation. Cherokee Tribe. That song. They had some of those and a bunch of other ones, right? But I'm passing up the ones that I've seen, and I know some of those are very, very common. Badfinger, I don't see a lot of. So I grab it, scan it, 25 bucks. To eyeball 200, roughly 200, to eyeball 200, and just, I'm reading, because the font's small, I'm reading each of those titles, and my eyes just, you could do with CDs and books and stuff, your eye will automatically pass by the things that don't catch your eye, right? So going back to the different font, going back to, well, it's not going to be a wear, or it's not going to be a size or a visual texture. It's just one of those things that, I've been looking at enough cassettes, and keep in mind, I've only really been selling media for 3 years. And it just kind of comes with it. You go out every single day, well, mostly every day, and cassettes, you don't really come, well, a lot of, when you start going out at least half the days a week, and let's just say that a couple of stores you go to out of that week have cassettes, it's another one of those, after a while, you're going to start to pick up on what type of cassette. So if there are a bunch of 1990s cassettes, alternative, grunge, metal, oh, I'd have a heyday. That's one of those. And the 80s metal, and get into death rock, and get into a lot of the rap. That stuff is easily a $20 each one. And then there's all that $5 chef out there that you have to eventually start to learn to figure, But this is a much longer sourcing video for a Sunday where I am going to do the resurfacing. I don't know, it's probably 9:30, maybe almost 10 now. I don't think any of these need resurfaced. And of the stack of stuff that I do have, there might be 1 or 2 that I got the other day. There might be a couple in there that do need to be resurfaced. I know there's at least 8 or 10 CDs. Some of those, the Latin ones that do need, like I said in yesterday's video. They don't get done, and so that'll be a listing of probably about 35, 40 CDs. And when I do that, that'll bring my listing count to over 3,000, which I've been pretty much trying to do since the last months of last year. So not getting a bunch of sales, or the sales being at about half of what they should be, means that items stay listed and I can get that 3,000. That's the stoic way to think about it. Oh, well, I'm making half the amount of money, but at least my items are staying here, and I can get over 3,000 easier and quicker that way. Oh, the point was, to kind of be a rabbit, and I'm chasing the hare. just constantly right there. So that's kind of just a basic. I don't know how much you really absorbed on why I picked these of everything, but ultimately, by the time I left, the time I got back, was the more technical exact time was pretty much 8 hours. I'll put it in the title what all this is, but the Buffy, $100. The two books, $100 combined. And even if it's $20 average, 1, 2, 3, 24, we'll say 25 times 20, 500, 6, 7, probably 800 in 8 hours. Maybe even a little, I mean, it's going to be more than that. Maybe closer to 9. I don't know exactly. But it was worth my time. There's another generic explanation on why I picked the certain media items that I do. And keep in mind, I'm at a store for maybe an hour, maybe. And if I can leave with one or two, just example, one or two things, if I can leave with 4 or 5. When you go to 3, 4, 5, 6 stores in a route, that route, if I would have gone to all of them and not done the yard sales and not done the other one up in Sheffield, but the main exact route has 8 stores on it. From the start to Rocky River Savers, there's 8. Like what you heard, like what you saw, comment, thummy, sub, share. It's all free. Helps me, help you, help other people. Appreciate it. Thank you.